Hi everyone, it's Donna here from Donna's Creative Corner, and today, as promised, I have for you a sneak peek of just a few of the wedding dresses I have coming up in the new year that I'm going to be cutting up and having up for sale. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to have two wedding dresses without the trains for sale as a whole, so stay tuned for that at the end of this video. But this is what I have right now that I'm getting ready to cut up, and I'm just going to show you real quick. And I apologize in advance for my filming skills. I have to do this handheld, and I'm not that great at doing this, so I apologize if it's kind of shaky. This first dress, the top part of it has this beadwork around the collar, and all of this bead swirls on the tool that's at the top, and it has all different sized beads on it. It has some little where's my finger? There we go. Little iridescent seed beads and pearl beads and some bigger beads. You've got these flowers over here coming down to this point at the bottom of the bodice, and the sleeves are all on tulle, so I will most likely, if I decide not to sell it the bodice as a whole, I'll be selling the sleeves individually, and they come down to this heavily beaded cuff at the bottom here. Very pretty. And then this is a cream colored dress, and this dress has these beaded swirls all over it. There's a few on the front here, and the train is covered with these, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with these. I will most likely take all the beads off and be offering those as either gift with purchase, or if anybody wants to purchase beads. But there's, hold on, there's this large applique cluster at the bottom here, and then there's another one of those bead swirls. Those are all over the train. And then the hem is this simple Alençon corded trim, kind of a narrow trim. So that is dress number one. I'm not going to undo the trains on these, except for that the last one I'm going to show you, because that one is just too beautiful not to give you a preview of. The second one, the bodice is pretty standard. It has a fair amount of beads and sequins. You can see how they're catching the light. They're clear sequins, and they're the corded Alençon type. This one as well, the sleeves are on tulle. Let's see if I can get my hand in there. The sleeves are all on tulle, so the appliques will come off of that. And then going down the front of the dress, there's the, let's see if I can get a wider shot. You can see, look at all the appliques and the medallions. This is just on the front of the dress. The train is the same way, but what's special about this dress is, let me see if I can do this, the hem on this dress, let's see if I can, hold on. The hem on this dress is about 9.5 inches deep. Hold on, there we go. You can see it goes from there all the way up to there. That's 9.5 inches deep, and this has a fairly large train on it too. It's got a fair amount of beading on the hem as well. Very nice. So that's the second dress. The third one has short sleeves that are on tulle. It has these beads and crystals. I don't know if you can see it there. beads and crystals along the neckline of the bodice. And then coming, well, I hope the light is showing this off enough. You can see the bodice has these embroidered appliques all over it, coming down to the bottom down here, which is all on tulle. And then the best part of this one is the dress and the train. Let me see if I can. This is just the front of the dress. It is covered in appliques. And the train, it has a really long train on it, and the train is covered in these same appliques. Now, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this one either, because it also has not only the appliques, but it has these swirls that are, some of it is, I don't know, I've heard this called rat tail. It's like a satin cording, and then part of it is beads into these flower swirls. Let me see if I can find another one. Some of them are, like this one here is all beads. And this one here. And also this dress, the sequins are all white sequins. I don't know if you can see it right there. Here's one of the swirls that's attached to an applique. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to cut this one up yet. I might sell the appliques with a swirl attached to the top of it. I'm not sure yet. And then this is the hem. This is the hem on this dress. Very pretty, like swirls. You can see the white sequins there. They're white. No, I don't think they're iridescent. I think these are just plain white sequins. The hem also has different size beads. You've got these little beads here. Very pretty. Lots and lots of appliques on this one. And the last one that I want to preview, this one here, I paid more for this one than I have for any other dress in the past, because the train is really long and it is covered with these appliques just like that. So there's going to be lots of appliques for sale with this dress. Let me give you a close-up on some of the appliques themselves. Wait a minute. Oh, I apologize if I'm making you dizzy. There we go. That's what the appliques look like. Gorgeous. Okay, and the last one is by far my favorite. It's probably might be my favorite that I've had thus far. Look at the top around the neck. Look at that piece there. It is absolutely covered in clear sequins and pearl beads. The whole dress is like this, not just this piece at the top. Oh, I'm getting in the light. Shoot. I probably should have moved this one towards the end. And getting down to the body part of the bodice, it has these heavily beaded swirls on it. And then coming down, look at that flower right there. Oops, I gotta find my finger. Okay. It is covered in sequins and pearls. Absolutely covered. And then down to the bottom here of the bodice. And it goes all the way around. And then the sleeves are all on tulle. This is the bottom of the sleeve. Heavily beaded again. All the way up is the same way, all on tulle, so all that's usable. And then coming down to the dress part, this dress weighs 10 pounds. Can you imagine walking down the aisle or all day on wedding day carrying around 10 pounds on you? This is what the appliques look like. They are also heavily beaded, heavily sequined. And then look at the front. This is just stunning. So shiny. There's the hem there. I'll give you a closer look at that. But there's just one of the medallions on the front of the dress. And then this is the hem. I have never seen so much bead and sequin work on a hem. They're almost like individual medallions or appliques strung together, but it is all one part. I mean, that's tulle or the sheer knitting between them. Now I'm going to try to spread out this. Bear with me. Close your eyes so I don't make you dizzy. I want to spread out this. I have to keep my camera plugged in. It doesn't work on batteries. Well, this isn't working too well. This isn't working as I had envisioned, but you can see the large medallion that's at the bottom of this train. Look at it. And there are lots of medallions and appliques, heavily beaded just like that, all over this dress. So I can't wait to get started on this one. Okay, I am going to put you on pause right now, and I'm going to bring up one of the two dresses that I have for sale. I'm going to have for sale as a whole. So hold on. Okay, this is dress number 1 that I am selling as a whole, if anybody's interested in it. It has no train. I'm already working on the train, the detachable train that came with this dress. But this is the dress part itself. It is gorgeous. I've had this dress before, so you may have, if you've been following me, you may remember some of the pieces off of this dress. It is covered, absolutely covered in beads, and particularly sequins and bugle beads. This is the neckline. The neckline. This is up high, so I'm trying to reach up to get to it, and you can see all the iridescent bugle beads up in this area here. Gorgeous flower with more of the iridescent bugle beads, and it's the whole front is covered. There's some more of these flowers here and here and here. Now the bodice part of this dress, this part of the dress, the beads, the stitches that hold the beads on, as with most bodices, goes through the satin. So you will have to either cut around the appliques to use them, or find some way to, well, probably both, seal in the stitches on the back. So I want you to be aware of that. Coming down the rest of the bodice, these are kind of dangling off, so you may be able to get, actually you may be able to get those off. And then you have this large beautiful piece here. If you watched my angel tree topper, this was the piece that I used on the angel tree topper for her skirt. And all of this part, you can see my hand through it, is not attached. So you'll be able to use that. And also the sleeves are all on tulle. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in here to give you a really good shot of this. But you've got that same applique, that large applique at the bottom of the sleeve, each sleeve. And then it goes all the way up into another one at the top. Oh, I can't show this well. You can see it there, all the way to the top. So you'll be able to use the pieces on the sleeves easily. And then coming down the skirt, you've got that large medallion. Well, let me just do it this way. You've got that large medallion right there. And you also have some more appliques and a smaller medallion right there. And then the hem, this is what the hem looks like on this dress. Very pretty. Everything on the skirt, this part here, does come off very carefully. You can get it off without losing beads and sequins. Let me flip it over and show you the back. Bear with me. So you've got the same stuff going on here. You've got the large medallion with those 3 gorgeous flower, actually 4. There's a 4th one up there. Coming down to another one. Now most of these medallions on the back are attached on this side and not attached. They're just held on with a snap on this side. But you'll be able to get some of that off as well. And there's the bottom part of that medallion. So that's dress number 1. I am asking $45 for this dress. It weighs between 2 and 3 pounds packaged. It does fit in a medium flat rate box. If anybody wants to try to calculate shipping, I do ship international as well. If you go to www.usps.com, you'll be able to calculate shipping for this. Did I say it fits in a medium flat rate box? And if you want to cut down on shipping, both of these dresses, I will cut off any of the satin if you don't want any of that, to help cut down on the weight and the price. So you can go to USPS.com and calculate shipping. For dress number 2, I have had dress number 2 for sale in the past, and I am going to reuse a video that I did of that one. It's the exact same dress. So I'm going to put you on pause and bring up that video. Okay, this is dress number 2. You might recognize this dress because I've had this dress before, and you've seen it in a sneak peek that I've done before. I did get more of this dress in, and I am going to sell it as a whole. If anybody's interested in purchasing it as a whole. It is a very spectacular dress, and you will see that in just a minute here. I'm going to start at the top. Around the neckline is this beautiful trim with these gorgeous dangles coming down from it, and it's on tulle at the top. And then coming down the bodice, it is heavily beaded. You get down to this section here, and you can see these are all iridescent bugle beads in through here. You've got this gorgeous beaded flower there. There's more of this bugle beads, heavily beaded. It comes down, there's more, and there's more of those swirls with the bugle beads and the beads. There is another dangle down here. And of course on either side there's appliques going all the way around the middle. There's another section at the bottom here below what I would consider the bodice section. There's another panel below that with more appliques, more beaded beaded swirls, and you have this pretty medallion right here that hangs off of the bottom, and it is heavily beaded. Now the sleeves are the puffy sleeves. The top part of it is tulle, kind of a heavy tulle, and it has appliques all the way around the tulle part. There's this kind of funky part coming up off of the main sleeve part. That has appliques on it. There's appliques coming down the sleeve, and then at the very bottom of the sleeve is another one of those medallions, heavily beaded medallions that were at the very bottom of the bodice section. Pretty spectacular. If you come down the dress, this bottom part is like 3/4 length. It's around the hip, I would say. You come down, there's a ruffled bottom, and then there's, you'll recognize this hem from my last video. It is the Alençon at the bottom, all the way around the bottom, and then with the medallions going every so often attached to the hem. You can see that's kind of what it looks like when you see it spread out. There is about 5 yards of hem just in that bottom section down there. I'm going to come back up, try not to make you dizzy, and flip it around to the back so you can see the back side. Okay. Most of the back is on tulle. This is all tulle in through here. You've got the buttons, the satin covered buttons that go all the way down, so there's lots of buttons. And then the back side has appliques all the way down, fairly heavily beaded. Got these really heavily beaded ones hanging off here, and then down to the bottom of this kind of second section, there's some hem going all the way around that. Now, this dress, I am asking $60 for this dress, and the reason why I'm asking so much for it is that this dress, first of all, it's pretty spectacular, and second of all, it can be totally taken apart. I have already taken apart a dress like this. Even the appliques on the bodice can come off without losing beads and sequins. You have 3 of these gorgeous medallions, 2 on the sleeves and 1 on the bodice. You have at least 5 yards of hem along the bottom, and the front, this piece here, it goes, let's see if I can do this and follow my finger. This whole piece goes all the way up to here and back down again. That's all one piece with the gorgeous dangles at the bottom, and these, there's another close-up of those bugle beads, beaded swirls. That's all one piece. So this dress is pretty special. This one is a size 10. It weighs, shipped or packaged, about 4 pounds. This one has a lot of beads and sequins on it. It weighs about 4 pounds, so you can estimate shipping. Now, here's what I can do. If somebody commits to buying one of these 2 dresses and you want to try to cut down on shipping, I can cut, you know, all the satin, and this one actually has tulle underneath it as well, and other material. I can cut it down as far as I can for you to try to cut down on shipping, and I'd be happy to do that, but you have to commit to buying the dress, or I won't do that, because I'm not going to cut a dress and then you change your mind. So these 2 dresses, if anybody is interested in these, please send me an email. My email address will be in the description box below. Payment is by PayPal. And I hope somebody can enjoy these 2 beautiful dresses. Thanks, and bye for now.